Good morning. How is everyone doing? Words, get them out, get them out, get them out. Okay, so I'm getting there, you all. Seriously, I've been up for quite a while. Couldn't sleep. Uh, this for days. I don't know about you guys, but I've had a lot of really restless nights and weird dreams, and just a lot of achiness and just all sorts of odd things going on. I have a feeling some of it's just the weather. And then some of it is energy is ramping up in a big way. So, welcome to the channel. My name is Holly, old-fashioned psychic medium. And some mornings feeling a little older than others. But anyway, I'm going to jump right into the vibe, my coffee mug. I asked specifically, and this is the one. Just that simple word, love. All things come from love. And the message that I got this morning was that we need to be, and I've got to remind myself of this, but be mindful of how you approach people and situations and what you say. The energy that you bring to it, even not just what you say, but the energy, as I said, that you bring to a situation. I feel like we are at a point. Okay, so for today, Thursday, this is the Thursday reading, in case I don't know when you're jumping in on this, but this one does feel a little time sensitive. So I feel like things could be misunderstood, misconstrued, intentions could be questioned. So just be very careful about your mindset, because there's not going to be a lot of filters on people's mouths, even though we're going to try really hard, hopefully all of us, to consider other people's thoughts and feelings. But also what I've been told this morning, that this is a time of flux and change. And if we come to everything with an attitude of peace, grace, and love, as a matter of fact, the exact phrase I heard was hope, faith, charity, and love. And so if we come with those attitudes, and sometimes, oh my gosh, you all, I get it. It's so hard. It is so hard sometimes. But if we can do that, the goal, and again, this is what I'm hearing, is that if we can do that, we won't have anything to apologize for later. Okay? So, I just feel like people are going to be a little extra touchy today. I don't know about the rest of the week. There's not a whole lot left in the week. But I do feel like that for about 24, 48 hours, hopefully I'm putting this out in time, because it could be backed up to Wednesday as well. But in hindsight, what are we going to do? But yeah, things are going to be, I think people are going to be a little extra sensitive, So come from a place of love. All right, so I pulled some cards beforehand because I wanted to confirm or figure out, make sure I was on track with what the messages I was receiving. And so I pulled from two different decks. One to start, and I asked, what is the vibe for the collective today? And this is a general reading. Always understand that. It is a given. This is always a general reading. And I even made a disclaimer video that's several months old, but you can find it in the playlist, or just type in Holly Speaks to Spirit disclaimer, and the video will pop up. It's a very short one. Speaking of which, a 5-minute video on the community page that you can find from the homepage of this channel is about an energy retrieval. And we need to do an energy retrieval when we've lost a lot of our own energy, or given away a lot of our own energy because of grief, illness, whatever it might be. Okay. All right. So first I pulled from the Energy, Spirit, and Oracle deck. And the cards that came out for that, I'll go ahead and show them to you. The first one is card 1. Okay, the numbers, in case these are significant for anyone. Card 1, card 31, card 40, and card 19. All right, so the first one is mindfulness. Pretty much everything that they were just saying. And when I say they, I mean spirit. Being mindful of your words and being mindful of your energy. I can't say that enough. It's not just what we say, but it's how we present ourselves and how we come across. When you walk up to someone, are you stone-faced with your arms crossed, or are you smiling? It's sometimes scary to be open and open our heart and approach people with a loving attitude, because not all people are loving themselves, and I mean that in both ways. They're not turning that love inward, and therefore they are definitely not turning it outward. And sometimes people can be difficult. But the more you close yourself off, the more fear-based the energy becomes. And that is actually what creates the heaviness, the tension, and allows the darkness to get closer to us. When we push our light out so far with love, compassion, and well-meaning for all, not a ha ha ha, see what I can do kind of attitude, but genuinely wanting the best for all, that's when the light of the divine shines through. The light of divinity will shine through you. Okay, the next one is beneath the surface. So there's some things going on that we may not be aware of. And what I just heard is that doesn't mean, like the moon card in tarot, that something could be hidden from you. It might. This is a general reading. But I feel like in that instance, what it means is that we may not know the struggles that someone else is facing. So be careful to always approach with kindness. And then the next card is Ascended Masters. Okay, Ascended Masters would be like, and if you agree, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But I'm just saying, that would be beings like Kuan Yin, who was Mao Shan in life. And I'm sure I butchered that, but just bear with me, y'all. And then Metatron, Elijah, who became Sandalphon, Jesus, Buddha, all of these are considered ascended masters. So people who were in human form, but moved when they crossed over, they led extraordinary lives. Okay. And then the last one, letting go of urgency. And that's been coming up all week long, and actually longer than just this week, about you are not in a rush. You are not in a race. Take your time, take a breath, center, ground, come to some kind of peace within yourself. Okay. All right. So mindfulness, beneath the surface, ascended masters, and letting go. Hand it over. Hand over what you can and what you don't know, and what you don't know about what's coming. Be mindful, again, of your thoughts, your words, your actions, your energy. I said a prayer this morning of just asking for guidance in all ways, and that my words, thoughts, and deeds or actions, whatever word you're more comfortable with, but words, thoughts, and deeds always be guided. I fall short of that frequently. Just saying, just putting it out there. I fall short of that frequently. But I'm human. We all are. So we try to do the best we can. So be mindful, and also practice mindfulness. Now, that doesn't mean completely clearing out your head and not having a thought in it and sitting in contemplative meditation all day. I would lose my mind. It wouldn't be mindful. It would just be rambling and gone. But if you can take that one deep breath, center and ground, before launching into something, it could make all the difference in the course of your day, someone else's day. your work situation, whatever's going on. All right, beneath the surface. I think we talked about that. There is something about to come to light, whether it's someone, and I feel like it has to do with motivation. So this could be with a work situation, family, friend, something even in the news that's going to come out, but there's going to be a big awareness of the motivation of someone or a situation, or I feel like for a bunch of you, it's going to be a group you're involved in. Their motivation is going to be very clear very soon, and you'll know whether you want to stay or back away. The Ascended Masters reach out, call on the divine, call on the divinity, call on all the helpers that are there at our disposal who truly want to help us. And I'm also hearing, live your life the way those you most respect live their lives, okay? You may never be famous. You may never go down in the history books and eventually be known as one of the Ascended Masters, but you may actually have the soul of an Ascended Master. Okay, and they're showing me a kid I knew. I absolutely loved this kid so much. And this child was born with a horrific, debilitating condition. Funny, smart, but the body was never going to function the way it should and caused a lot of pain. The first time I saw this person, I'm not going to refer to the person as a child any longer. The first time I saw this person, I thought, this is, I need to, I wanted to cry, not because of the visual, not because of the pain I knew this person was going through, but because I could sense and I knew this person came into life and had been something as magnificent as an Ascended Master. Very, very spiritually high level being who came in to teach humanity, who came in needing constant care, 24 hours a day care, and would for as long as that life lasted. But when I looked at this person, I thought, I'm in the presence of the divine. And it still brings me to tears. Now, there were also the very human aspects of this incarnation for this person, and there was some goofiness and silliness and wonderful, wonderful things. But just because someone isn't famous doesn't mean that you're not in the presence. We're in the presence of God every time we're around each other. We're in the presence of the divine every time we are around another person or animal or tree, because there's the essence of the creation in everything. Everything carries an element of the divine. So there's that. But like with this person, this young person that I'm talking about, there was just something that lifted the energy in a way that I can't even find words for. It was a feeling. And I felt like I needed to drop my head and acknowledge just how important the work this soul was doing happened to be. So understand, for some of you, it's going to be reaching out and finding help from the divine and those in spirit who are the helpers and who are the allies and who are watching over us. But for some of you, it's going to be looking around and acknowledging the divine in those who are incarnate who may never end up famous or wealthy or all the things that are touted as the goals for human existence. This human existence will cease to exist for each and every one of us. Just as we're born, we will leave this incarnation. I guess the question is, when it is your time to review the life you've lived, when it is your time to look at how you've had an impact on people, are you afraid to do that? Are you curious? A little of both? Do you welcome it? I'm going to say it's probably a little of all of it. But if you are just 100% turning away from that, then no one escapes it. Even if you turn away from the light, eventually you will be called into it. And that's not meant to be threatening. It's healing, and it's hopeful, and it's wonderful. And I just hope to live up to the mission that others have come in with that are so overwhelming and so daunting. Like that person I just described, who will never know some of the human emotions, but only the desire for those things. This is someone who would need care every single day. But has a light and a soul that radiates like nothing I've ever seen in this lifetime. Okay. All right. So that was a big digression. I never know where things are going to come from or why, but all right. So moving on. Now, old style Lenormand. This is a little pocket deck. And if you need a travel deck and you are comfortable with the Lenormand, which I love that deck. Oh, look, on the bottom one, heart. It was just a quick shuffle, see? Everything is going to be heart-centered and heart-based. Emotions are ramped up. You might feel a little more weepy or a little more, just not in a bad way, but just emotional, So just, be ready for that. And when I shuffled and then put it down, and it said take the one on the top, clover. So, yeah, we had clover the other day. And that card, there are two predominant flower cards, or actually three. I believe there's three in the Lenormand. And the clover is one that, to me personally, this is my personal take on it, it feels like innocence. It feels like the most natural, loving form of, and I know that's not necessarily the traditional meaning of it, but it is the essence of the stripped away, true, loving energy. And it is a gift. It is a lucky one. It's a great, it's a positive card. All right, so let's get to that. All right, so we have the dog. So that's faithfulness, okay, companionship. But then we have the coffin, which is a quick and swift end. But it leads to a key that then leads to the tree. And the way these laid out and underneath, there were 4 cards from the first deck, in Energy and Spirit Oracle, and then the sorry, and then, and then 4 from the Pocket Lenormand, the old style Lenormand. So under mindfulness, it's almost like these are the clarification. And well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but it's just more about how to read the Lenormand. So mindfulness and faithfulness. Be faithful to your mindful practice. Be faithful to what you know to be true. Be faithful to that. Okay, and I guess I am. So going to talk about this. So instead of it reading across the row, one based on the next with just that deck, it's almost like we're reading up and down. So like this, okay? So we're kind of zigzagging like that, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's the way I'm told to do it. That's what I do it. That's the way I do it. And the people that are, or the beings, not people, the beings, that's what I'm getting that from Spirit. I just want you to make sure and understand that. Don't let anyone control your thoughts. Okay? We're all human. So mindfulness and faithfulness. Be faithful to your practice. Beneath the surface, that is where we had, underneath that is a clarifier, the coffin card. So motivations are going to be brought to light. Okay? Ascended Masters and the key. You have the wisdom and the knowledge to unlock the higher purpose. And I'm hearing that specifically. The higher purpose that is coming for you, or that is your calling. And it could just be to be happy. When you are happy and you radiate that light, it helps other people feel better when they're around you. And that is probably one of the most impressive purposes anyone could have, is just to be a ray of light. Okay? And then the last one, the tree, comes under letting go of urgency. Trees don't pick up and walk around and move themselves when they get bored. Trees, very often, some grow faster than others, but trees are still overall, I mean, it's like you don't go from a seedling to a 100-foot tall tree overnight. Okay. So trees are rooted. They are in it for the long haul. Someone needs to hear that. They are in it for the long haul. They know when to bend and sway. And there is a book called The Secret Life of Trees. I think there's also a documentary, The Secret Life of Trees and How They Communicate. I've also, through my own meditation, and I actually heard another lady talk about this once too, and I thought, okay, so we're never alone in our beliefs or what comes to us. But I've always thought of trees as the hair of Mother Earth. The leaves and the branches, the grass, all of it. It's the outward way of communicating and giving us something tangible to lean on, to give us shelter, to provide us with homes, trees are, there's even a whole lore around different types of trees, and the energy that we can find in them and with them. They are staid, they are strong, and they are protective. And as with humans, they have a life cycle. Now, that life cycle could be hundreds of years, but when it is time for them to move on, they do so gracefully because they know it's their time, but yet they are not forgotten. The Secret Life of Trees is amazing. Okay, so overall, the message from this is try not to force an issue to light. The motivation of a group, person, whatever it is, for some of you specifically a family member, but the truth and motivation will come to light and it will play out the way it needs to, and you won't have to go digging or asking for it. Be mindful of your energy and how you approach situations. call on the divine to help you to understand what to do. It doesn't have to happen overnight. This will unfold in its own time, in its own way. I did see, for those of you who want a time frame, I did just get a 1 month image in my head, like a calendar, and I saw 1 month. That's pretty specific. So I believe then by the end of October, all of this will come to light. Everything will be known. All of it will be, yeah, it's just gonna, you will have a new understanding, and you don't have to do a thing about it. Just keep doing what you do and keep being you. There are different ways this will manifest. For some of you, it's going to be a group of people you're involved with. Truth will be known. Truth will be seen. It's up to you to decide what to do after that, but you just keep being you and let your light shine. For some of you, it's going to be a one-on-one situation, perhaps a romantic partner. What I don't feel like it's spouse related. I don't feel like it's a spousal situation. I feel like it would be more in the just two people coming together kind of situation, or dating or whatever, but not an actual spouse situation. Which I know that was there was a caveat for someone that, yeah, anyway, that sounds more like the Wednesday reading. But anyway, so yeah, but just make sure you call on the divine and understand that everybody has a gifted soul, should they choose. Should they choose to acknowledge it. Okay. All right, I think that's it. Well, we didn't do a whole lot of cards, but there was a whole lot of information that came up. This I know lately the readings have been a little different. Sometimes I get, like the one yesterday, I had a pretty significant amount of information that came through about a couple. But then today we have, it's a little bit more of the philosophical and esoteric. But that's okay. There's room for all of it. I am sending everyone so much love. Don't forget to remember who you are. Remember who you are. You're not discovering something new. You're just uncovering what you've always been. All right. I am sending you so much love and gratitude. Thank you. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.